Good evening, afternoon. Which one is it? Evening or afternoon? Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's been a long day. I've been here since 7 a.m., so I'm forgetting what time it is, what day of the week it is. But for those of you who have just joined us, we've had a fantastic day here at Millennium Point at the inaugural Apprenticeship Branding Conference, looking at engagement, employment and enrichment and how we can promote apprenticeships in a positive way. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Kasim Chowdhury. I am the Multicultural Apprenticeship Ambassador at Pathway Group. I've been involved in the Multicultural Apprenticeship Awards for the past 8 years. I promise you, I used to have hair, as you can see up there. We've been working and striving to promote apprenticeships, and I talked about our journey earlier, and apologies for those of you who were here this morning and have already heard the story. But it's been a journey, and I can't believe we'll be celebrating our 9th award this year. So it's just phenomenal. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors for the awards. We really appreciate your support. As I said, when we wanted to do this back in 2016, there were very few organisations who understood our challenges, why we wanted to do the awards, and what it represented for the communities out there. And here's all of the organisations that are supporting us, and we really appreciate their support. So a huge round of applause for all of our sponsors. Thank you. Now the exciting stuff, onto this year's awards. Let's have a look at the nominations. So this year, and I know it sounds cliche, and every year when I talk about this, when I talk at the awards, I say we've had the most nominations we've ever, and people are, oh yeah, he says that every year, but we really have. This year, we've hit over 450 nominations across all of the categories. Now, if I take that back to, I think year one was around 200, so we've doubled in 8 years. But what's more interesting is the fact that 350 plus of those nominations have come from apprentices themselves. So that's a 12% increase on last year. But what's even interesting is when we break it down to sector, and we've had 90 plus nominations for apprentices in the digital and technology category alone. So massive numbers there, and it just shows us where the skills are at the moment and where the apprenticeship opportunities are, and those young individuals wanting to shine and get recognized for the work they're doing. So this year we've also seen a huge number of intermediate apprentices nominated, and a lot of the conversation we've talked about today at the conference was, yeah, it's great we talk about degree apprenticeships, but there's not enough out there for the people applying. But what are we doing to promote lower level apprenticeships? So this year, with the introduction of the intermediate category a few years ago, we've actually split the shortlist, and we've actually shortlisted people for level 2 apprenticeships and level 3 apprenticeships, which brings our total shortlisted apprentice numbers up to 142 this year. So a huge number of apprentices shortlisted. And for us, it's really important. I mean, for some of you, that number may not seem like a lot, but I go to a lot of award ceremonies, and the shortlist tends to be 3 to 5 per category, which, when you think about it, how many young people are actually in the room experiencing that event and understanding and seeing what's happening and being able to celebrate their success? So for us, it is about the apprentices, and it's about getting as many of those people in the room as possible to celebrate the fantastic work they're doing. Again, it's not just about apprentices, but it's about those organisations that support them. So this year we've shortlisted 46 employers, 14 learning providers, and 8 universities. And as I said, this is going to be our 9th award. We've been running these awards since 2016, and there's our overall winners across the years. And you'll hear from last year's winner later on. So make sure you join us on the 1st of November to find out who this year's overall winner will be. But for those of you who weren't here this morning, I just want to talk to you a little bit about our ecosystem and why we do the awards. The awards is not just a one-night event where you come and we hand out a load of awards and that's it. The awards is part of our ecosystem. Why do we run the awards? We understand that awards are a great way of celebrating success and inspiring excellence, and by creating fantastic role models, we're able to promote the brand of apprenticeships and encourage more people from diverse backgrounds to get involved in apprenticeships. And we've also got the Multicultural Apprenticeship and Skills Alliance, the Multicultural Apprentice Network, the Apprenticeship Branding Conference, the Festival of Apprenticeship, and the Apprenticeship Diversity and Social Mobility Forum. Now, to tell you a little bit more and to talk about the journey, I'd like to invite on stage our CEO and founder of Pathway Group, Safaz Ali. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Firstly, thank you so much for everybody who stayed, who came to the conference. Much appreciate that. And I know it's been a long day, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. For those of you that know a little bit about our awards, you'll know the fact that we're not in it for the award's sake. We're here to make a difference and make a meaningful difference. So even though our awards is Birmingham-based, it's got a national reach. And we like to think of our awards, the fact that it reaches parts that maybe other awards cannot reach, do not reach, haven't got the ways and whereabouts to do that. And part of that is because of the people that we try and bring on our journey. And that's the sponsors, that's our supporters, that's our ambassadors, that's our judges. And it would be remiss of me to actually not thank you for all your support, not just in terms of this year, but all the support from right at the beginning in 2006. And some of you are here. So I want to thank you again to all the judges, to all the ambassadors, to all our supporters, our sponsors, anybody that's actually been following our journey and supporting us. So thank you guys, really appreciate that. Kasim mentioned Joseph. He's going to do a fantastic talk because he's a great individual, and not just himself, but all the other people that have actually been part of that journey. And I said earlier on today the fact that we're talking about apprenticeship branding, and in terms of my age and the journey that I'm at, I look at myself and I look at these young individuals and say, I can learn a lot from these individuals. I feel inspired. And, I would love to have these sort of people actually getting more and more involved in terms of actually supporting us and getting involved. And this is one of the reasons why we've set up the network, because what we felt is that, we all need peer support. Peer support, not just in terms of our industry, but actually individuals who have gone through that journey. So the Multicultural Apprentice Network is something that we're trying to create and launch, but not do it in competition with anybody else, because it's working in collaboration, because we can't work on our own. It is about collaboration, it's about partnership, and people use collaboration, partnership and stakeholders fairly willy-nilly, and we've got to look at it slightly different in some aspects of it, and again get that buy-in from people, which is what today's been part of, and hopefully we'll carry on within that. One of the things that I just wanted to say, if I may, is that not only is it an award show, the fact that we're celebrating talent and diversity, but it's about the ecosystem, which is about the support, it's about connectivity, it's about the fact that we can come in time and time and again, because we must be doing something right with your blessings, with your support. And again, and I'm repeating myself, I just want to thank you. I did have a long speech. It's probably about 3 pages, but I can't say any more than thank you. So otherwise, I'll just be repeating myself. So what I'll do is, if I could just leave you there, because I am getting a little bit emotional, and I'll leave you there. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's been a long day, let's just say that. Again, thank you everyone who's stayed with us throughout the day, and is still with us, and I hope you're not lagging. But as we said, we can't do this event without the support of our sponsors and those organizations that support us. For those of you who were in the room earlier today, and I talked about the 5 minutes I had with Pearson, where I had to pitch, I had to go down to London for a 5-minute interview, 80 Strand, and say, this is our event, we'd like you to sponsor it. And it was the people at Pearson that believed in us and said, do you know what, this is a fantastic idea. We understand what you're doing. We love what you're doing, and we're going to support you. And not only did they support us for 3 years, they supported us for another 3 years. So, you know, it gives me great pleasure to invite Martin Leader, Vice President of Pearson TQ and Employer Engagement. Martin, thank you.
Thanks very much, Kazim. Good evening, everyone. I think it's evening now, not afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Martin Leader, VP for Pearson TQ and Employer Engagement at Pearson. I wasn't in the room that day, so Kazim didn't have to impress me on that. I know that Cindy was massively impressed, and that's why we're involved. We've been involved since 2020, and I think this is our 5th year. Saf and I were doing some mental arithmetic downstairs, and I think it's our 5th year. So there's a reason why, there's a couple of reasons that Kazim mentioned early on why we're involved. We want to stay involved, and that's because Pearson's a big believer, passionate believer in equality and diversity. We think that's a cornerstone of any successful, sustainable business that seeks to grow. And the second reason really is that it's about skills. Apprenticeships are a component part of skills, a really important one. And if this country is to become prosperous and grow its economy, skills is going to be a really important part of that, particularly over the next 10 years. And we think those two things literally are encompassed within these awards, and that's why we want to continue supporting them. So, Kazim, you'll have our backing for a number of years to come. I think also the awards serve to also shine a light on the winners themselves and also the nominees and those who've been down selected for the finals. They are blazing a trail for others in their communities, and that needs to be recognised, and we're really proud to recognise that and play a part, just a small part in that as well. And I think on that note, I'll leave it there because I don't want to get emotional like Saf either, but I'm really looking forward to hearing some of the stories and the journeys of some of the learners. I'm really impressed and pleased to see that there's lots of level 2 and level 3s in there this year as well, so I think that's really important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin, and thank you, Pearson. As I said, this event is blood, sweat and tears. The amount of hours that go into planning it, the judges, the ambassadors, the people that support us, and I can understand the two people that have come up on this stage, why it's so emotional. When we read some of those stories and, you know, you hear about the journeys and the individuals and the struggles and the challenges that they've been through, and it goes back to Derek Redmond's story, it goes back to resilience, the resilience that they've shown, and actually how an apprenticeship has been the pathway to their success is so important. And that's what we really want to shine a light on. And that's why it's so important that we continue the awards and we continue to celebrate the fantastic young individuals that are doing these qualifications, the organizations that are supporting them, and also, you know, the ecosystem that we're trying to create. There's a young man waiting to come up on stage, and I'm a bit worried by this guy because I think he's going to take my job one day. When you see the quality of apprentices that we've seen over the past couple of years, it is crazy. I mean, when we say 450 nominations, we're talking about 450 fantastic individuals. You know, when I look at some of the stuff that these individuals are doing, it puts me to shame. I honestly feel like, what was I doing at that age? How was I trying to grow myself? What was I doing to support charities? What was I doing to support my peers? And actually, you know, the work you're doing is phenomenal. So, although a lot of the people who nominated themselves aren't in the room, we are on a live stream. They are listening to us. So can we give them all a huge round of applause? Now, my next guest, although he is from HMRC, he's not here to investigate me. He's here to entertain you, enlighten you, and share his journey with you. So please, huge round of applause for Joseph Lennox.
Oh, yes, it's on. Fantastic. Well, good evening. Thank you very much for staying. I'm going to quickly take you down a trip down memory lane. I think it's great that people are getting emotional about the awards. I'm getting a bit emotional because it is a bittersweet moment for me. I love being able to join celebrations of talent, apprenticeships, employers, learning providers, everyone who goes above and beyond to make apprentices great. But there's a little part of me feeling a bit upset that someone is going to come along, a lovely young apprentice, hopefully, and replace me. But I embrace that. And I think for me, it's looking at how I make way for the next Apprentice of the Year. I'd like to take you back to October last year when I won the award. Didn't expect to win the award. Never been to the Multicultural Apprenticeship Awards. Never been to the National Apprenticeship Awards. So for me, just being in the room was an absolute testament to itself. And to be able to look back on that year and look back as the Apprentice of the Year is truly heartwarming. For me, I'd love to say thank you to Jag, to Saf, to Kasim, because they all speak about, what were they doing at this age? But they've then spun that around and said, right, we're going to create this platform that recognises talent. And you just have to be really, really sort of ambitious and do a lot more than you usually used to achieve that award. So for me, it's thank you to you, great people, because I definitely stand on your shoulders as great people who've paved the way in creating this for me. But yeah, I think it's also looking at what this does for an individual, what this does for someone trying to grow their career, what this does for someone who is trying to enter the space, the education space. It's really, really life-changing. I don't know if anyone remembers back at the Multicultural Apprenticeship Awards, I made the promise of not letting this award be a piece of glass on a shelf. And I hope that if you follow me on LinkedIn, if you've seen me about the country, hopefully you'd say I might have kept that promise, because I think it's great to be awarded for talent, but I always look at what can you do with that award. So for me, it's going to more conferences, going to more schools, speaking about how we recognise talent, shining a light on what this does for you. And I still can't get over people stopping me and asking me for a picture. I don't feel like a celebrity at all, but people say, oh, I'm following you. So just to have that sort of light shone on you for your commitment to apprenticeships and that education and the whole sort of ecosystem of education is truly a testament to itself. But I want to also say congratulations to all those people who will be shortlisted, who have made sure to get themselves on there, and also those people who weren't shortlisted, because I think there are a lot of apprentices, a lot of learning providers, a lot of individuals out there who actually give up their time to push this stuff. So I'd like to say thank you for that. But for me, it's also looking at what can we do more. And I really, really love going to these conferences because we've not become complacent as an industry. We are looking at how can we keep making this space better for the people coming up. And that is one of the biggest things that I think I've tried to jump into. So, very lovely picture there, of course. I won't have the lovely awards next year, but I hope to still get the awards this year to, again, pay respects to those who win and those who are shortlisted and those who are highly commended, because I think it's really nice when we all celebrate each other. So for me, I want to thank you very much for allowing me to share my journey in that brief year. It's not a full year yet. I've started a public speaking company. I have gone to number 10 about 5 times. I constantly get requests to go to different speaking events. I went to the AAC and delivered a keynote speech. So things that I never had access to, but I was doing my bit in pushing apprenticeship schemes, but the Multicultural Apprenticeship Awards opened up that platform, which meant I could reach more people. And I am truly grateful for that. I hope that it never stops. You will still see me November 2nd when someone supplanted me. I'll be like, don't forget me in the back still, because I really want to keep using the platform that was given to me to make it better for everyone else and make apprenticeship schemes accessible for all is the biggest one for me. So, I think I'm going to stop there, not bore you too long. It is late, and let's hopefully get through some of the shortlists. So I'll give back to Kasim, and we'll make way.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Joseph. And this is exactly what it's about. It's about creating role models who can go out there and shout about brand apprenticeships, provide other people with support in their careers, provide them with the opportunities that they didn't know they had. So I'd now like to get on to the moment we've all been waiting for, and it is the shortlist of this year's Multicultural Apprenticeship Awards in partnership with Pearson. So, to announce the first category, Accounting and Finance, Finalist Apprentices, can I please call upon Jenny Pelling?
Okay, so this is the first, so we need the most noise. Are we ready? Okay, the Accounting and Finance shortlisted apprentices are Aisha Ahmed from EY, Amreen Patel from BAE Systems, Anis Desai from EG Group, Ethan Roberts from Charles Stanley, Jasneet Grover from JP Morgan, John Awar from Lloyds Banking Group, Krishna Lilly from NatWest Group, Philip Hocking from Lloyds Banking Group, Humana Akhter from Virgin Media O2, and Viren Dulab from HSBC.
Thank you so much. And now for Management, Legal and Professional Services, can I please have Mark McKenna to the stage? I'm going to say let's not clap after each name because we'll be here all night. So if we let the presenter announce the shortlist and then one big clap and a huge cheer for everyone that's been shortlisted, please. Mark, thank you so much.
Thanks very much. Good evening, everyone. We're delighted to be back and supporting again this year as part of the event. So, without further ado, the Management, Legal and Professional Services shortlist is Charity Lockie from Waitmans LLP. Steady. Deba Mukwani from Bird and Bird. Hamza Islam from Norton Rose Fulbright. Jonathan Tembo from DLA Piper UK. Josephine Ejekbai from Lee Day, Mariam Sheikh from Troop Bywaters and Anders, Nawal bin Sheikh from Simmons and Simmons, Taryn Nanjiani from BP, Tawana Robertson from Denton's, and finally Umar Sheikh from KPMG.
Brilliant, fantastic. Now on to Charity, Voluntary and Public Services. Representing NCFE, can we have our head judge, Sunil Ramkishan, please?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The nominations for the Charity, Voluntary Public Services are as follows. Alicia Faulkner from Severn Trent Water, Amara Siddiq, Bank of England, Bob Artino, Queen Mary University, Gabrielle Reed, England Boxing, Jennifer Mendoka, Empire Fighting Chance, Mahood Tanvir, Department of Energy, Security and Net Zero, Nana Yor Badu for Future Youth Zone, Pramod Singh, Walsall Council, Saif Rahman, Black Pearl Trust, and lastly, Sakira Anshaw of Oasis Care and Training. Round of applause.
As one of our oldest judges and someone who was in the room when the initial conversations were taking place about our inaugural awards, have you got anything you'd like to say?
Well, I've seen this journey grow in terms of as an organisation, as a brand. When I was approached by someone from ALP, the former CEO, Stuart Siegel, he asked me that this would be good for you. And I could see the value of what it means in terms of that representation for people from diverse, marginalised communities. And I've seen it grow from year 1 at 2016, and here we are at year 9, and the fact that the very numbers. So I'm just in awe of the nominations, and in terms of the journey of these individuals and what they've gone through and what they've overcome to get to this stage. So big round of applause, big it to them. And yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sunil. Now, on to the next category, Health, Medical and Social Care, sponsored by the Royal Navy. Jason Lees, please make your way to the stage.
Good evening, everybody. So, without any further ado, the finalist for the Health, Medical and Social Care, sponsored by the Royal Navy, is Adana Constable from Barking, Havering and Redbridge NHS Trust, Adriana Popper from St Mary's Dental Practice, Annabelle Semedo from Croydon Health Services, Dimple Patel from Great Ormond Street Hospital, Hussain Ahmed from Cambridge University Hospitals, Jasmine Ali from AstraZeneca, Jenny Congolo from University of Manchester, Suja Mehdi from GSK, Sintu Taka from Guy's St Thomas, and Zara Arifa from Great Ormond Street Hospital.
Thanks, Jason. Now, on to Construction Services, sponsored by Severn Trent Water. Please can we have Jade Pearson.
Good evening, everybody. It's my great honour to share the shortlist for Construction Services. So here we go. First up, we've got Aisha Abid from CBRE, Babakar Bajdi from BCS Data Centres Limited, Bilal Arshad from Condal, Ella Anderson from Mace Limited, Inaya Faze from BAM Nuttall UK and Ireland, Megna Diora from Pick Everard, Siobhan Welch from Complete Fixing Solutions, Sundeep Budia from Jacobs, Tamid Sharif from Turner and Townsend Alania, and Tala Wadud from Tony G and Partners.
Thank you. Thank you. And now, Engineering and Manufacturing, sponsored by JTL. Can we please have Neil Hammersley on stage, please? Thank you.
Good evening. The shortlist for engineering and manufacturers are Amin Patel from Amy, Assad Gondal from Rolls-Royce, Dagmar Sadiq from Hydroforce Hydraulics, Hania Aliam from Arup, Ashrak Chowdhury from Ford Motor Company, Melanie Ashrun from Bentley Motors, Paolo Rangel from Amazon, Sharon Livingstone from Coca-Cola Euro Pacific, and then I've got some partners that are Yasaf Hamed from Virgin Media and Yasaf Mumtaz from Jaguar Land Rover.
Thank you. Unfortunately, someone drew a short straw because the next one's digital and technology, and we've shortlisted 20 people. So can we please have Kirsten Priest, please, to the stage to announce the shortlist? Thank you.
Hello, everybody. It's not a short straw at all. It's a privilege, it's an absolute privilege to read all these names. Please forgive me if I mispronounce any organisations or anybody's names. Mine's often mispronounced, so I feel your pain if I do. I'm sorry. Let's get on with it and start waffling. Okay. Nominees are Adil Panchbaya from Thales GTS, Adibusola Arlo Adebomi from PA Consulting, Elena Jaffa from KPMG, Bolu Olaway from Howden Group Holdings, Berhan Ali from IBM, Dirhal Pandaya from AstraZeneca,
Gaurav Singh from Bloomberg LP, Haziq Hussain from Jaguar Land Rover, Ibrahim Acha from Auto Trader, Ibrahim Mir from PwC. We're halfway. Ikram Ali from Salesforce, Kasundi Fernando from Morgan Stanley, Labour Mahood from Capgemini, Leon Francis from Vodafone, Letty Nodvolo from Amazon Web Services, Mohammed Jahir from NatWest Group, Natasha Muhammad from Goldman Sachs, Shazer Badnan from BT Group, Cheryl Taylor from BT Group. Can you guess where I'm from? And last but not least, Zayana Butt from Accenture. Congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, next category. It's Creative Media and Marketing, sponsored by Occupational Awards Limited. Got it right this time, OAL. Can we have Lee on stage, please, to announce the shortlist? Thank you. I always think so.
Move that down a little bit. When I was asked this morning if I wanted to read the shortlist, I thought they asked who was shortest, so I stepped forward. But I'll get on with it now. So the shortlist for Creative Media and Marketing are Amina Ahmed from Mondelez International, Anika Rahman from the BBC, Emily Tanato from Publicis Media, Faiza Asim from Solihull College and University Centre, Jasmine Shum from Amazon, Kalisha Gordon, Financial Conduct Authority, Nusa Nukri from Visa, Salka Dar from Mindful Education, Shirin Hussain from News UK / The Times, and Sunil Mak from Image Plus.
Thank you, Lee. Now on to the next one, Retail, Hospitality and Tourism. Can I have my co-host from today to join me on stage, Charlotte Bosworth? Thank you.
As you can possibly tell, whenever I'm on stage with Kasim, I absolutely ignore any of the rules he puts in place. So if you do wish to clap or give a whoop because you're in the room or you want to support somebody else, just go for it. Anyway, the shortlisted apprentices are Asha Hashem from Whitbread, Bianca Martins from M&B. Yay! There we go. Dean Hallahan from Compass Group UK and Ireland. I don't know whether they're still in the room. Fabian Barker from Whitbread. Georgian Ajibon from Royal Navy. There we are. Conda Noel from Royal Navy. 2 Royal Navies right there. Miranda Sims from TUI. Nicole Subi Binns from Amazon. Noor Imram from British Airways. And Vanessa Montero from Green King. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. Right, nearly towards the end now. This is the last of our categories, industry categories. We've got transport and logistics, sponsored by the British Army. Can we have Naveed Mohammed on stage, please? Thank you.
Kasim, thank you. Good evening all. And the nominees for the transport and logistics category: Annie Vong, Amazon; Baljinder Singh, Amazon; Beryl Uzun, Amazon. I'm getting my prime value for money. Babakar Diallo, Amazon. Gets better, Mubarak Baladol, British Army. Nakash Zafar, FedEx. Gets even better, Ranahi Limbu, British Army. Rubin Poku, Amazon. Sharifullah Danesh, Cheshire East Council. And last but not least, Yusuf Patel, National Highways. Very well done to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And as I said, this year, it's been about promoting the lower level apprentices, and we wanted to make a lot of noise about this. So this year we decided to have 2 shortlists, one for intermediate apprentices at level 2 and one for intermediate apprentices at level 3. So without further ado, can I please have Paul Eales from Skills Education Group on stage? Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is an absolute privilege. I was really nervous about falling over the names, pronunciation of the names, and I can't even get the category out. And it's absolutely our pleasure to be supporting this category tonight. And Intermediate Apprentices of the Year, Level 2, the nominations are as follows. Alexis Nelson from British Airways, Ashton Farmer, West Midlands Ambulance Service, University NHS Foundation Trust, Blessing TC, Compass Group, UK and Ireland, Iago Alden from Mitchells and Butlers, Marcus Richards, Mitchells and Butlers, Mohammed Elred from Compass Group, UK and Ireland, Asagi Atabe from Amazon, Shadi Cocker from British Airways, Temujin Amazana from Compass Group, UK and Ireland, Wahu Maudi from Derby and Burton NHS Trust. Should we give the level 2 nominations a round of applause? I don't know whether I'm probably more nervous than they are, but Intermediate Apprentice of the Year Level 3 category. And we move on to those. Bharati Palia from Google Limited UK, Bikash Khan from British Army, Boma Jubai from HSBC, Fatima Vali Mohammed from TJX Europe, Hamza Butt from British Airways, Hussein Patel from MBDA, Ishaq Ali from UCL, Jaladud, so my apologies, Jaldu Lesin Asir from TRAC, Jinnah Rami from Queen's Mary University of London, Musa Zama from Rolls-Royce, Shazia Paveen from NatWest Group, Tasnem Chowdhury from Boston Consulting Group. Please give them all a round of applause.
Thank you, Paul. I must admit, I would have slipped up on a number of those names, so well done for getting through that list. And I only gave it to you about 10 minutes ago, so I do apologise. Maybe a bit more time would have been better. So now we're on to the next category, which is Judge's Choice, sponsored by Lloyds Banking Group. Can I please have Kimberly D on stage? Thank you.
So, the nominations are Abraham Al-Sayed from Vodafone, Andrea Zekiel Mead from KPMG, Elijah Olampenken from Salesforce, Oman Bhatti from Microsoft, Ursha Hussain from Vialto Partners, Mia Kaur Shutti from Arup, Nathan John from IBM, Sian Oniwin from Moore Kingston Smith, Shahira Udin from GSK, and Yusuf Bapu from Rolls-Royce. Well done to everyone.
Thank you so much, Kim. Right, and now we're on to the employer shortlist. So I'm about to bring our tax specialist back on stage, representing our sponsors, Amazing Apprenticeship. Please, round of applause for Joseph.
A huge honour, thank you very much. The Small to Medium Employer of the Year shortlist nominations are Complete Fixing Solutions Limited, Equals Consultants Limited, Fight for Peace, Griffinstone Moscrop, Hockley Mint Limited, and Joanna's Hair Elite. Well done.
Brilliant, thank you. And now on to our Large Employer of the Year, sponsored by NOCN Group. There's a lot of them. So best of luck. Huge round of applause for Lisa Hibbard.
Right, bear with us then. So the nominees for Large Employer of the Year are Amazon, AMI, BAM UK and Ireland, the BBC, British Airways, Capgemini, Channel 4, Charles Stanley, Compass Group UK and Ireland, Coventry Building Society, DLA Piper, EG Group, Financial Times, HSBC UK, Hydroforce Hydraulics, we said this was a long list, we're still going, IBM, ITV, Jacobs UK, King's College Hospital, KPMG LLP, LabCorp, Lancashire and South Cumbria NHS Foundation Trust, London Ambulance Service NHS Trust, NatWest Group, RS Group PLC, Salesforce, South Western Railway, the Royal Logistic Corps, Transport for London, Vodafone, Walsall Council, Waitmans LLP, Whitbread PLC, and WTW.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Lisa. Just in case you're watching online or sitting in the audience, all of those employers are shortlisted in their respective industry categories. I just thought it'd be easier to do it this way rather than announce them twice, and we'll release that shortlist tomorrow. So now on to the Learning Provider of the Year category, sponsored by AELP, and we've got Jagdeep representing them. So huge round of applause again for Jagdeep. Thank you.
Honour, a privilege really to announce these sort of the shortlist. I was going to ask you to do the conga or a sort of Mexican wave, but I'm too nervous of Cassius. So I'll just go through these. So the Learning Provider of the Year, sponsored by ALP, Access Skills, BPP Education Group, Croydon College, Founders and Coders, HIT Training Limited, JTL Training, Kaplan, Leap Apprenticeships, Learning Curve Group, Michael John Training, Multiverse, Skills for Pharmacy, Swift ACI, and the Development Manager. Good luck to everyone.
Thank you so much, Jagdeep. And now for the last category, University of the Year, sponsored by Pathway Group, I'd like to call upon stage Safraz Ali. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I've probably got the easiest list from all of them. I've got 8 names here. So, University of the Year shortlist: Aston University, London South Bank University, Manchester Metropolitan University, Queen Mary University of London, Sheffield Hallam University, Staffordshire University, University College Birmingham, and last but not least, University of Exeter. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. For all of those of you watching at home, for all of those of you who made the trip here, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming out. Again, this is a very, very tough competition. So if you haven't got through this year, don't, be disappointed. Put yourself through again next year. Speak to some of our winners. I can see Amer in the audience. You've got Joseph in the audience. Find out some of the things you can do to improve, some of the extracurricular activities you can get involved in, some of the volunteering, some of the charity work you can do. again, these individuals are really at the top of their game, and there's nothing stopping you from joining them on this mantle. So again, please, if you haven't been shortlisted today, do not be disheartened. That is a very long list there from a huge number of people that entered, 450 plus apprentices. And, you know, we've tried to break that down to 142 apprentices shortlisted. So there's a lot of people who haven't been shortlisted, but that does not mean you're amazing. You're all amazing because you're on an apprenticeship, and you're going to complete that apprenticeship, and you're going to go on to do fantastic things. So please, the awards are here. Yes, it is a competition, but don't let that dishearten you. We look forward to seeing everyone at the awards on the 1st of November in Birmingham at the Vox Centre. And again, just continue to be amazing. And to those employers and learning providers in the room, remember, learn a laser focus. That is the key from today, and something I hope we can all take away. Once again, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate all of your support, and we look forward to seeing you on the 1st of November. Thank you.